What's up? It's Josh, I guess, and I'm here with the one, the only Kurama SD. Now, how are you doing today, Kurama?
I'm doing great.
Alright, so you recently dropped an album, and I just wanted to let the viewers know the story behind the album before anything. So I want you to explain it if you can. You can take your time with it when you're.
Well, to start off, the story actually continues based off the last album, but that album's not really completely story based. It's kind of like, it's basically a continuation of the Hell series. Because Hell, well, I fell into Hell. I got trapped there. And then battles I can't win, fucking fighting through the demons and shit. And then finally, start off the new album with No Escape, which is essentially Hell Part 3 in the finale of the Hell series. Now, basically, Hell gets frozen over. It's like, what the hell happened? Everybody gets frozen. But I'm frozen in a particular way where I can still escape. Then basically, pretty much most of the tracks are like just like flashbacks and memories of agitation. That's when everything switches up. And agitation, it is essentially anti-SD torturing the character we're following called Austin. It's just a very brutal song, but it's pretty good. Then we have the tipping point, which is Pain, with my homie Angels of Sorrows. A shout out him. This song is based around the idea of another character called Joe Casey, which is actually Austin's friend. It was from his whole perspective. And when we get into the double track, that's basically just explaining how Austin gets out of his ice prison at this point. And then for the final thing I have to say about it, conclude the story, is Refuge. Now, Refuge is basically Austin walking through just everything and remembering stuff. He feels like he's on his way to die at this point. So he starts hallucinating, like seeing his friends, seeing his family, seeing a fucking Christmas tree and bells and stuff. And then he hallucinates like he's ascending to the sky, like he's dying. But in reality, once he comes down from it, he realizes what actually happened was his friend Joe Casey had died, and he's been grieving this whole time. So it's a bit of a twist. So yeah, that's the story.
Alright, so anyone that does not want to hear that can skip through that section, which is good. So,
Yeah.
I'm just messing around. But on a real note, before I get into the rest of the interview, if you hear me heavily breathe or yawn in the background, it's because Grandma has me doing this while I'm tired, which is revenge because the last interview he did, he was also tired. So it's just payback. Um, so, other than yourself, do you have any inspirations behind the album this time, or is it just continuing?
Well, there were really four influences, but there were two main ones. For one, there's actually break-ins and Quadeca. Those were the two main ones. Quadeca, he had an album drop that was a concept album, and about him being a ghost and stuff. So I kind of like took certain elements from that and like used it as influence to inspire the story. Um, well, also with Breakins' album, I just It had similar themes of death and stuff, so there's that. And also, you know, the obvious track, Seeing Through the Shades, was very Breakin's influenced. And then Sewer Person, you know, he always just influences me. He's probably my main inspiration when it comes to music. So yeah, he inspired the more like descriptiveness of the lyrics. And then finally we have Haywog. Now, Haywog basically just inspired all the fucking acoustic tracks on this fucking project, to be honest. They're not people, but there were like a couple animes that inspired some of the aspects, such as like Tokyo Ghoul. I really like that show, despite all the controversy. So yeah.
All right, so this is one of the only releases like that is up on Kurama at least that has anti-SD involved in not just one but two songs. I was just wondering how you felt about Anti's involvement with the album and what made you really conclude to having those on.
If you saw my past videos with just anti involved in anything, he's kind of an asshole. So he just the only reason he jumped on the tracks was because they involved him fucking either dissing me or like torturing me or some shit. So that's about the reason why. So yeah, he's kind of an asshole to work with, but it was fun, to be honest. And I like the result of involving like his character in the story. He's like this overwhelming like antagonistic figure in the story.
And it's good to have that because I know that your other albums have kind of tried to dive into that, but not as deep as Anti goes. So it's kind of cool to see a different perspective, you know. And speaking of involvement with other people, I just want to know how like all your songs with features on this album happen. You can explain this in any order you want to, but I can remind you if you forget it.
Well, I'll just start in order of the track list, the way the features go. Now, the first one wasn't actually planned to be on the album initially, and that is the song Life on Pause with Josh here. I found a catchy type beat that I liked and really fucked with, and then like I showed him it, and then he was like, what let me try recording on this, and then he made like some like highs on it, so it got very creative. I ended up liking it, especially when he added like some background vocals to it. So yeah, basically he finished that. It took him like a month because like we were on and off like projects, so we didn't exactly have the song done like instantly, but we got it done eventually. My favorite part about the song is it's like one of the closest songs I've been to being like sounding like a normal song without like you listen to it without the extra editing that Josh does in his mixing, and it didn't sound completely terrible. So it's the first time that I made something that doesn't sound completely awful without Josh's mixing.
Okay, I think that's debatable, but that's your opinion and it's your music. So.
But anyways, that's how that song came along. Next feature is technically anti-SD, but he just wanted to diss me. That's all you need to know about that. And as far as what's it called? The next feature was Get Better. Now, Get Better He was an interesting guy to meet and work with. One day I was just like, huh, I kind of want to work with this guy because Josh and Kira keep talking about him, and I just want and I liked his song with Josh. So I was like, let me DM and see if he wants to work together. And then he surprisingly was like, oh yeah, I actually have been wanting to work with you for a bit. So we got something down. The first beat I tried was like a rock beat, but I couldn't make anything on it for the life of me. So I scrapped that one. Then I hopped on another Gray Skies beat, and that shit just like hit. The song is basically just about, oh yeah, I just want this person to just tell me that they hate me because like they clearly fucking do. So yeah,
I hate you.
yeah, bro. So, anyways, uh, so Get Better. He actually hops on the song like not long, like the night after, we send it to him. And he actually not only hops on the track, but he masters the track, which John. The only issue Josh had with it was just that he kind of wished he could make more edits to my vocals,
I feel
because
like that was one of the earlier songs in the album's progression. I had no idea how this album would like pan out or exactly how good it would end up being. So like I feel like especially over time now that there were some things I could do with it beforehand, but I didn't want to like just get all the work done again and ask Get Better, can I add the vocals, can I, and like it's unmastered again, so I'd have to master it myself and be like too much of a hassle to just redo it. And plus, Karma doesn't even have SoundCloud Pro anymore, so you'd have to re-release the song. So.
yeah. So
I don't dislike it
yeah,
though. I just think that I could have done better, and sometimes that opinion also changes. It just grows on me over time again too.
I honestly I like the song, but it's definitely one of the weaker ones of the album, especially considering like how much in quality it jumped from there. The only one I'm really disappointed that didn't get released was actually the song with Akira. I feel like it's one of my better like verses overall. But anyways, the next song with the feature was with my homie Angels of Sorrows. Now I've known this dude since 2021, technically, if you want to count the comet. The next time I met him was in March like March or April on the Empty Chest server. Then he friended me, I friended him back, but I didn't talk to him till May. We just been friends ever since, and I was like, bro, we've been friends for this long and we still haven't made a track. Let's do something. He was like, bet, let's do it. And we went searching for a beat. We found the Jost beat. Now, Jost is someone that I've used many times, and I actually made a couple of really good songs with it. My first ever hit was actually They Still Haunt Me. That song's very fucking bad to me now, but it was good at the time. And we found that beat like, I want to say we found it like either June or July. It was actually the second song I did with technically for him to feature on. He just has some difficulties recording on the beat for a while, so that's why it took him like 5 months to record on it. He put like a really good verse down on it. Like he really actually impressed me with it because I usually expect like a certain like type of vocal style for him with his music, but
Yeah, that one
he
was
really
different.
switched out.
It was different than usual. Like Angel, I, like you could tell it's Angel still, but it was a different style than usual, and it was good to hear because mean, anytime an artist switches up, it's good to hear some.
Yeah, it's just overall that song was just fun to make, and at the time when I was recording the chorus, I was probably one of my saddest choruses because at the time I was like, damn, my health recently has been like kind of terrible and I hate it. So I decided to make that. Another shout out has to be to Josh did the auto tune and cut out the breathing for the song, so shout out to him. But like Angel did a really good job from there, to be honest, with the mixing on my part. I love the way he did it because the first chorus, you know, it didn't have any of the layered vocals for like the first half of it, and then like they came in like at the second half of that chorus, and then like when we go to the second chorus, it like has that beat fade out effect and then fade back in. Like that was the other song. The last one with a feature was What If I Said What I Meant. Now that's a double song, but I'm not gonna talk about the other song on it, but because it's have him on it. But Yukio. Now Yukio is someone that like we met because he DM'd me on Instagram, like saying like how he really enjoyed my reactions and stuff, and it was cool to see someone, especially like how he was talking about, because usually people are just like, oh yeah, I really like your reactions, how about you do one to me? But he didn't even say that. He was just like, really like your reactions and your style. So it's always nice to have someone that doesn't just instantly jump to like either you do a reaction to my music, or can you give me a feature, like something like that. As far as like how it happened, originally the song was just supposed to be just me because I was kind of wanting to focus more story-wise on the album, and I felt like involving someone else would like cut off that story element of the track, but ended up the first reason I included him on the song was I just couldn't do that portion of the song, really. I just couldn't figure out anything on it, so that's one of the reasons. But he really impressed me because he took the lyrics and the concept I told him about, and he really fit that concept pretty well, so I'm really happy about it. And the way he mixed his part was actually really cool. I love like before he gets into my part, it has that like almost like glitchy, distorted, kind of faded effect on it. I like crush and stuff. Yeah, overall that was a really good track. It's actually one that I was kind of hesitant on at first. I thought I wasn't gonna like the song. That was for my part, but the more I listened to it, the more I liked it.
I'll keep this brief right here, but it's cool with Yukio because I found Yukio just through SoundCloud algorithm, and we ended up living close to each other. So like we talk a little bit now here and there. So I'm glad that he's on the album. He did really fit that song in my opinion. At first I was kind of hesitant with it being more acoustic because I never heard him on it, but I also think that his voice would have fit with acoustic, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt before I heard it, and he did not fail to impress me. So yeah, there's only if you want to talk about it because you already kind of talked about one of them, but I was gonna just talk about the scrap songs off the album.
The scrap songs. Let me try to remember them all. So, the first one being Home, with Akira. Now that one will come out at some point. We have a whole plan set up for. I won't say too much about it because I want to keep that a secret. You'll see it when you see it. But
It's gonna get on my tape.
I'm just kidding. Bruh, shut up. No, it's not. But anyways, yeah, that was the first one. The second one was actually the song with Kana. It's a piano song, which like it's another song that like I'm not sure like how I feel about it because I like the song,
I like it too.
but it just feels like I guess it's just so different that like I have to get used to it. But
yeah, I feel that.
But there were a couple other scrap songs. Let me quickly go to my screenshots because I have I made screenshots of the album like track list as I went along. Here's two of the other scrap songs as well. This song actually got released, but I originally wanted it on the album, but then I realized I don't really like how it sounds on the album. Had Dreams. And that song, like, it was a hit actually. Like, if you compare it to a lot of my other music, it got like 500 fucking plays. I just kind of think that song's like mid as fuck now. But it was really cool at the time. I still feel like it was a really good mix overall. It's just the song doesn't have the staying power of a lot of my other songs. The other scrap song was actually another song with Angel. It was called Pressure. And the way we did that song was, at the time, this wasn't even supposed to be an album at the time. We were going to do like some EP type shit. Like we found like 3 different beats and like was gonna be like me and Angel on the one, me and Josh on the one, and then all 3 of us on one. It was funny. But I ended up making like a chorus because Angel, like, he said that it takes him like a long time to come up with a chorus compared to a verse. So I would always do like the chorus. Let's get it out the way. But really, yeah, that's all the scrap songs. I like all the songs. I actually haven't heard Pressure in a while because he's the only one that has it, and he still hasn't recorded anything on it. So we'll see when that gets released.
So that's all, I guess. So I was gonna ask you, like, about the last album itself. Like, how do you feel that you've improved, whether vocally or just in general, with this album? If you feel that way, compared to the last one.
Well, the last album, it still has some really good songs, like Ghost, Battles I Can't Win. I would say Iced Hearts is a very underrated song. And also Farewell. I also do think Every Day I'm Losing Space is another underrated one. But yeah, that's pretty much all like the songs like I would say is like really like staying power wise really good. Hell kind of fell off for me personally. Like it's just like it was the first song I actually like had like really good vocals on, or actually good. But It's not fair. The only problem I have with that song overall is Epitome fucking carried me hard on that song because I recorded the fucking open for him like fucking in March. Um and it was my vocals weren't bad, it's just they weren't like as good as they could have been now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Then we had August, like it's definitely way better from where it started, but it's still kind of a mid song overall. And then what's the well, Time Wasted. That one's fucking just funny. Like, what the fuck was I on at the time I was making? But yeah, I would say yeah, I have improved in all ways since then. I feel like this is my most consistent project overall. You can, of course, there are like certain songs that I wish I could make little edits to, maybe change up, but overall, it's a really good project. I would definitely, for me, it's either be like an 8 out of 10 for me. Like it's not amazing, it's not a masterpiece, but it's good.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of your rating of the album, I also want to know what your favorite and least favorite song from the album is so far.
Now let me go to the track list. My favorite ones. You gotta like give a top 5 best ones and then a top 3 worst ones, or like least favorite.
Yeah, I mean, the point was the most favorite and least favorite, but I mean, you could choose more if you feel like you can't just choose one. You can make
Yeah.
it up.
Oh, sorry. Fucking, I'm just hearing fucking like I don't know, fucking some shit fall. Like I don't know if it's ice, rain, what the fuck it is, but
Wow, I can't believe you did that. We're gonna get demonetized.
bruh. Anyways, for me, the top 5 from this album has to be Hung Up on the Past, Vanish, Before I Die Today, Fade Out My Life, and Pain
Mm.
with Angel. And top 3 least favorite songs are songs I felt like could have been better overall. Just Say You Hate Me. To a Degree, Refuge, actually. And Living in the Moment.
All right. So that's
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
All right. So I think I've pretty much concluded everything about the album. If I remember, I made a few more questions, but I'm just making sure real quick before I continue. Uh, all right. Well, for Kurama SD itself, just Kurama SD as a whole, because you're planning on retiring this project that you've worked on. What is your favorite song like you ever made on under Kurama SD?
Alright, we're gonna have to go to the whole ass profile for this.
Bro.
Hmm. It's actually a really hard one considering the amount of fucking songs I made.
But it's okay if you can't choose, or you feel like that it's gonna take forever. You could just also say one that you think has a big impact, or just whatever. If you think you can't choose anything, you could just say a random song and the reason why you feel like it's valid of a choice.
Well, there's already fucking two that fucking like made a like impact on my career, but I wouldn't say they're my favorites. I'm just gonna throw a song out there that like I just love overall, and like I will just play whenever the fuck. Actually, I would say Vanish. Vanish just holds a special place because it's one of my most vulnerable songs I've made, and just is really good. Like the mixing, Josh killed the mixing on that one. I really think that's one of the best ones he's done. And also just the song just feels like it could stand on its own. Like,
that's all. Are we moving to the next question? Or?
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to know how you feel about your progression as an artist from like a long time ago with Kurama when you first started Kurama. So this wouldn't count as any of your other names that you went under that only I know of. Hopefully.
Started Kurama SD because I wanted to. Actually, a similar reason why I'm leaving Kurama SD. I wanted to revamp my name and like get rid of all the old tracks and kind of like really just become something more. Because I realized I was kind of like living a facade at the time. So Kurama SD, I started with the song that Josh loves, No Reason. It's I guess it's what you would call a banger, but at the same time it's like not, because it's just like I sound fucking stupid. But from then on I made I guess you could call it an album called The Star That Never Shines. Basically private all those songs, but at the time I had them of. It was really fun making that project. It was an album I made for 2020. So I released it January 30th, 2020. So it's literally almost been 3 years.
Okay.
Anyways, to focus the conversation, I just feel like as I progressed, I learned more. Some guy I fucking met on Soundtrap was just like, oh yeah, you have to do this to improve and this to improve. And I got discouraged for a long time. Like when I made fucking EP, that was also story based. So I took that time and then I came back with a hit known as Izanagi. Still a really good song, even though it was never mixed, mastered, fucking perfected in any fucking way. But yeah, from then on, I just continued making music until I met the homies, Josh and Akira. And I feel like that is the biggest that is literally the biggest reason why I made any of the improvements I have, and the reason why I wasn't discouraged in fucking pursuing music in the first place. Yeah, I met them, and then it was the first time I ever had a song mixed by someone, because at the time I was just like fucking messing around with Soundtrap and no auto-tune, no nothing. So it was low-key ass as fuck. I wasn't on beat. I fucking didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So yeah, from then on, we had my first album, For the Better. That album was literally fucking ass. It was just ass. I fucking hate it. I'm just not gonna lie about it. I fucking hate it. It was an important step though in the right direction. It's one, how I got noticed and how I made a lot of connections. And just two, it was an important step as an artist. I feel like every artist can relate to that, just having out one album or EP or even song that's important, but you hate it, but it was an important step. Fast forward like 2 months, I drop a fucking EP, a lo-fi one, featuring fucking Casper and Akira. It was a good project overall. I still like it, but it definitely is not as good as it used to be. Then finally, we had Why Do I Even Try? That fucking project I still think it's a good project, but it definitely, some of the songs just haven't aged as well. And now we're here, fucking with my final album as Kurama SD.
Are you happy about your progression throughout that?
Yeah, I'm really happy I got to this point because, to be honest, like, this is shit I had dreamed about, like, getting to having people genuinely listen to my fucking music and think, this actually pretty good. Like, it's not at fucking, I don't know, fucking sewer person level. I don't think it ever will be, but it's something I'm proud of.
Alright, so that's gonna be the only question about your reactions, and it's the most straightforward one. Do you think you'll ever go back to reactions, even if you're not Kurama SD? Or do you think you're gonna just leave that in the past and it's never gonna really happen?
I have been thinking about that, but the one thing I can guarantee you if I ever do is they will be faceless reactions. So I don't really think you would call them reactions, even though it's like a first time hearing the song. They would more be reviews.
Well, what's your reasoning for quitting, like, specifically, like, to explain to people why are you quitting the Kurama SD persona? And, like, do you have any feeling about it? That
One reason I can tell you straight off the bat is, to be honest, like, for the past 5 months, ever since July, I've been debating about this for a while. And I just didn't know how to come to terms with everything because I had all these like fans. I had all these people that actually watched my reactions, fucking listen to my music. And I just didn't, but at the same time, like, I was almost getting like sick of like putting on this like persona I had, of being this guy that I don't even feel like I am in real life. Overall, I'm not this upbeat guy. I'm more of just like a laid back person. Sometimes I'll be like that wild motherfucker, but most of the time I'm very laid back. And I guess the second reason is just like I'm tired of the association with being the person that reacts to people, because I feel like I don't have genuine people that like me for me. They only like me because I fucking react to their music, and I just got fucking sick of it. Finally, the third reason, it just feels like it's the right time. It just feels like I have completed the journey, especially with this whole story-based project, like, being completed, like completing the Hell series completely in all aspects. It feels like the right time to just end Kurama SD. So I'm unmotivated to do reactions, and I'm sick of the persona, and I just feel like it's the right time.
Yeah, it's pretty valid. It's crazy to see it go though. But do you think you'll like ever return to Kurama SD for anything whatsoever, or you think this is it?
Well, for one, I don't really see how I could fucking return after everything that's been built up, and for two, I don't think Kurama SD has anything left to do, really.
Yeah, I was also wondering. This is gonna be a separate question, but it's better just ask it in this question. Are you still like gonna do features under Kurama? Like if there's any features, whether it's beforehand or after, like what rule set do you have when it comes to a Kurama SD feature? Now that you're quitting.
I mean, if it's like, for instance, everything like feature wise will be Kurama SD Avui stuff, or let's just say, if people approach me about doing a feature before I even quit, then it will still be Kurama SD. If not, I will hash out the details with you to like know what to call me.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to say other than that regarding the first question? If you'd ever return, or you done with the question?
Overall, I'm done with Kurama SD.
I was wondering. I don't know. It might take you a minute to think about this, but just because of how it was in the Angel interview, I'm just gonna say any random memory that you have that's significant to the Kurama SD era, whether it's with the homies, whether it's by yourself, whether I don't know, just anything like really significant.
The funny part is, I would say there's almost too many, but I could give you 3 if that's okay.
Yeah, just don't make them way too long.
The first one was actually something that you guys never got to see because we wanted to like just keep it private because it was just a fun time, but can't explain it. We did a lot of freestyles together, and like that was some of the funnest memories I ever had. Just like freestyling with Josh and Akira, just saying the dumbest shit possible. And yeah, we were watching it earlier today. It's crazy to see how different we were back then, even though it's only been a year. The second one has to be that one time that fucking me, Angel, Avi, Akira, Josh, and No Curve were all in VC at once.
Oh my god. That's a really significant memory.
Yeah, and then there was this one random guy that joined and we were like confused what the fuck to say. It was just a really fun time because like it was chaotic, but it was also funny just to see how everybody interacted with each other. Yeah, that's the second memory. Now, the last memory, I'm gonna have to think like for a minute about this, because I want it to be like a very specific like memory.
Anyways, back to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Shut the fuck
On the App Store.
Oh my god.
Google Play. You know what else you can download that's better? Spotify. Go stream Kurama SD on Spotify. I run on Spotify. He's gonna have stuff released before he quits. Even it'll technically be after he quits, but we don't talk about it. So
I'm gonna just for this last memory, it's kind of just gonna be a quick overview of a couple memories.
okay.
The one time that me and Angel were in VC together and just bewildered by the anime we were fucking watching because fucking some random shit happened. We actually we went to like watch it in dub, and fucking the dub was fucking the worst thing I heard in my life because like the way the people just sounds like they just picked him up off the street in like like I don't know, fucking Florida. The voice actor like had the "Yo dude, what's up? I'm a surfer" type voice. It was fucking stupid as fuck, but that was fucking hilarious night. And then another time was actually the time when it was literally just me, Akira, Avi, and Stellar all in the VC together, and like it was. And then we were all up late at fucking night because we have no sense of fucking time. And yeah, it was just fun to hang out with him. I like honestly, I just hope like Stellar's doing good. All like no, we don't talk mainly because like we never like made a legit connection. So I understand that. Still wish him the best. And then. Oh, there's this one fucking clip I never show anybody, and I never will. But fucking, it's a 2-minute clip of just us saying the stupidest fucking shit. It was absolute chaos. It was literally just me, Josh, Akira, Stellar, and fucking Albie all in VC. And fucking Akira was being crazy as usual, and I was being even wilder. Just all good times, especially the empty chess server times. Those were crazy. But yeah, that's everything I have to share.
Alright. So, you don't have to answer this because this would be something that you barely thought of until recently. But as the last couple things to say, what would be your advice to people that might also want to quit their persona for their own personal reasons? Like, what would you say would be the best approach to ending it, and like instead of continuing it, and what makes you like shouldn't or should?
So it just like comes down to like not only who you are, but like what type of like persona you have at the moment. Because for me, it just like worked out at the right time. And just like things I wanted to do, I like basically just wrapped everything up. But my best workout, kept walking until I got to my destination. I think the best thing you can really do is like really think about why you're quitting and what you want to do after you quit. Because we never really know like what we want to accomplish at first, but the more thought we put into it, the more we'll figure it out. It's just a constant process like that. I think the best advice I can just give you overall is just do what you feel is right for you, because make sure you actually want to quit. Make sure that you actually want to quit this persona and you want to move on from it, because if you don't, just probably come back later and you will have like cut that stuff off, so you won't know what to do. So just make sure it's a path you want to go down.
Alright, well, I figure this is gonna be one of the last times they're gonna hear you speak as Kurama SD, so I just want to know if you have any last messages or words for your fans that might watch this video, or just friends in general. Just any last thank yous, last goodbyes, or whatever.
Well, first off, we're going thank you route. I'll keep this brief, but there are a good amount of people I have to mention. Say thank you to my friends such as No Curb, Lippy, Mace, Get Better. I like met him like in the last 3 months, but he's been really cool to hang out with and stuff. Also, shout out fucking Yukio. He's a big support. Epitome fucking definitely gotta shout that guy out because he has made me feel so happy that he enjoys my music and sees my progression. Like, just really a cool guy overall. Another guy I gotta say thank you to is I don't know how to say his name. It's very different name, but I think it's like Smeltive or like Smelty. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry for butchering your name, but I just want to say thank you to you. For the last person, I want to mention that like it's just someone that has helped me overall is I Believe I Care. He is just overall one of the most honest people I've talked to, especially when it comes to music. And like it was really cool to like talk to him, get feedback, and just have someone like notice your improvements and still like point out stuff that you need to work on, but like not in like an asshole way like a lot of people fucking do. It's cool to have that person. Now that's for like the acquaintances and like friends. Now we like get into like the people that I'm like closest with type stuff. So first off in the list, I gotta say thank you to Abby. You've been there for a long time. We met last year. It's been a big support to me. I really love working on music with you the 2 times we made songs together. And I keep grinding, bro. Like, your music, you have a talent. You just gotta keep working at it. And I know you'll get there, bro. The next person is Angel. Now, Angel, same thing. We met last year. Just overall wish you the best. Your voice is actually one of the best voices I've heard in like our little scene, in my personal opinion at least. So yeah, keep working on that. I just overall like the direction of music and the versatility you have. So yeah, just keep working on that, my dude. Anyways, there's only a few more people I have to mention. Next up is I want to actually give a shout out to Empty Chest. Just a really cool person to talk to. I just enjoy working on music with her, to be honest. And just she is one of the most talented people in the scene, in my opinion. Last 2 people I have to mention is Kira. Thank you for being one of my closest fucking friends in the scene, and actually being my first legit friend in the music scene. So I had another friend, but just say I got disconnected from him. You is getting there. I can't wait to hear what you have for this year in store, and I just hope we can continue being friends, because it's one of the greatest things that happened last year to even November of the year before. So, and my final shout out has to go to the dude interviewing me right now, JoshIGuess. I appreciate you for a couple of reasons. You mix the majority of my music, and you help me do interviews. I'm gonna just be real. You kind of keep me fucking sane, while also making me go insane in some calls, depending on the time.
I'm not gonna deny that.
But yeah, that's all the shouts I have to say. And for anybody wondering, like, is there anything I'm gonna be doing after this? Like, what am I gonna do with my channel? Is it just gonna be completely like archived after this interview? I've been thinking about that. I thought about like starting a whole new channel geared to a certain degree, but I realized I still want to do music related stuff. So I might just change the name of the channel, something I feel like fits like the direction I want to go in. And I'm going to be doing like music related content, but not reactions. Stick around to see what happens there.
Knowing interviews, probably nothing will happen because every time we say something's gonna happen, I never know.
So, yeah, we'll just have to see. Either we stick to a commitment or we don't. It's just how it goes.
Alright.
Nothing is certain in this life. Anyways, yeah.
It can be really brief, but I don't know if you remember me saying that that there was also last message to your fans too. Like it can just be just a even simple thank you to all my fans. Like you didn't.
Memories of the past.
Memories of the past.
Anyways, as for final message to my fans, I want to say thank you for all the support, the views, the plays, the likes, just all that basic shit that like I care about, but at the end of the day I don't care about at the same time. Like it's great to have, but I'm not really focused on the numbers. I'm just more focused on like what I'm doing. But I really do appreciate you guys having my back. It's just more fun to talk to you guys more than just get likes, plays, and shit like that. Shit, at the end of the day, that doesn't really mean much. What means the most to me is that there's a group of people that listen to the music and watch the videos.
Yeah, facts. It's crazy with reactions, even though that's coming to an end. Like you've met so many newer people, whether they were long term or not, that even were pretty big artists in the scene, at least nowadays, maybe not back then. So it's pretty crazy what that progressed to, and that you were able to maintain both while staying the same persona, So it's crazy.
Oh yeah, one last shout out. I have to shout out the boy Residential. He is amazing. Frank, I got to talk to him twice, no, like 3 or 4 times. Just a really chill, cool dude. He's actually surprisingly listened to some of my music and said it was good. That like was surprising to me. And he's like watched some of my older gaming videos on Call of Duty. It was funny. I got to play fucking Call of Duty with him. It was fun. It was a fun experience. I'm very grateful for that.
It's always cool whenever you hang out with someone you don't really expect to even have a connection with in the first place, and then it just happens. That's how a lot of relationships build in the scene, to be honest, but it's always satisfying no matter what.
That's pretty much everything I have to say.
Alright, Kurama! Just kidding.
Hell no.
Alright, Kurama, so before we end the interview, I want you to do your iconic outro one more time. I'm not gonna close this out. So.
Well, this is the potential final time, depending on what happens from here.
Yeah, but you won't be Kurama SD.
Well, this is my final time saying this as Kurama SD. I want to thank you all for watching. Without further ado, peace. Kurama SD out.